Kill it. I hope we kill it.
We've got Nas at the bottom of the order, and then we'll be starting back over with Snow, Rack, and Mildred. Although, well, yeah. Nas, you're up.
Freeze ray, freeze ray. Wait, no, that's Gru. Nas is firebolt, firebolt. Choo!
Freeze ray, I will stop.
Versus the skeleton a couple squares away from me. 13 versus AC sounds a little low.
Skeletons have an AC of 13.
Huh. So 2 fire.
Yeah.
2?
Yeah,
wow.
That is less than ideal, but oh well.
Loading up.
Fazorch.
Were they minions by any chance? Banana!
Not getting into it. Not getting into it. Do you want to move to anywhere?
No, I am still covering the rear here.
Fantastic. We're back to the top of the order. Snow.
Do you want to move to a place where I can stand in front of you and keep the baddies at bay?
Yeah, that does sound good. I would like to not be in the middle of the hall. I'm going to back up against this wall.
Right.
Yeah, when you're taking advice from the tank who is also a healer.
I'm just picturing
good idea, Shaggy.
Yeah, are we going to reenact Sir Barrington?
Two words, Sir Ogwyn and Nas. Strategic retreat.
Yes.
Advancing in a different direction.
I think I accidentally moved someone else's piece.
Reverse lateral advance.
Yeah, I think you're on top of me. And that's all sorts of wrong.
There we go. We're all fixed.
No, I'm still missing, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. I was trying to, you know what I was trying to do.
I got Rack and Cole here. I got everyone in place.
Yeah, I
There
can
we
see
go.
you.
Let's do it.
All right.
No, you're up.
Sure.
There's a smoldering pile of ashes and stuff right in front of you, where the elven guy used to be, and you see a sickly purple light filling the cave ahead of you. Ooh, purple.
Oh, he's dead?
Yes.
When did we
Oh
kill
yeah. Someone want to recap what happened to him at the end of last session?
He's not just dead. He's dead, gone, and his name is forgotten.
Well, his name is not forgotten. That's how we defeated him. We called him by his true name.
Okay.
And destroyed him.
Noah?
Cole calls out, Ephraim Dogwood, this is no tomb of yours, leave it. The medallion around the elf's neck flashes and glows, and the light begins to stream from him more rapidly. There's a sound from the cave nearby, and Ephraim screams. Cole cuts him down with his glaive. Looking down on him, though, Cole can't remember what name he just used for the elf. The elf touches fire and flash burns to ash.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't remember that, but I'm walking into this room.
Hey, look, a terrifying monster is going to kill us all.
It is.
Wednesday.
And I'm going to whip out my greatsword, and I'm pretty sure that's the end of my turn.
Pardon me while I whip this.
What does she see?
And, yell back at my compadres that there appears to be a monster
Monster knowledge checks are a free action.
in this room.
No, you can reach that monster.
Yeah?
Oh.
I started way back here.
Where'd you start?
On the other side of Nas. Of Rack.
Like here?
Like there. Yes, like there.
Okay.
Like there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Depends where you started. Does anybody know where you started?
Not precisely, no.
Behind Rack, for sure.
Yes. But not super behind him.
No.
Yeah, because you've got a move of, what, 5 or 6?
Yeah, it's a pretty big move.
As you come into the room, you discover an irregular oblong cavern about 30 feet across.
Yeah.
Fairly dark except for the sickly purple light coming from a summoning circle carved in the floor.
Mm-hmm. And in the center of that circle.
Inside the circle, thrashing around against a slowly thinning arcane barrier of some sort, is a vicious-looking winged creature with cloven hooves, hovering in the air.
Ooh.
Each time he strikes the barrier, sulfur-scented sparks fly, and you see the barrier get a little bit thinner.
Oh, so it's gonna break.
He looks at you, points his finger at you, and then scratches one claw down the inside surface of the barrier, and then points the claw at a rock on the floor at your feet. The rock splits down a seam and begins to speak quietly. It says, "The road of time must wind and bend as names upon it travel. Those names meet their untimely end when I touch them and unravel."
Huh.
Oh. Is Snow the only one that can hear this?
No, those of you guys who are near the front can hear it.
Will you send me that quote, Jared?
Absolutely.
All right.
So is that just Cole and Rack, or is it also me and Mildred?
It's pretty loud. Yeah, each of you hears it in your native tongue.
Mm.
And
Wow.
That's unfortunate.
yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to hear that.
Rat
Snow, kill that
definitely
rock!
Heard that.
I don't think I can
Does
kill
Rack
him.
know who it is? No, Rack knows nothing. It's a kitty. Darn it.
Rack, your mind is a completely blank slate at the moment.
That sounds calming for anybody who's not a worshiper of chaos.
Really, game? Really? All right. Snow, are you done not obliterating things?
I am going to go to my character sheet and roll for insight.
Why is my character sheet empty?
Because he's erasing your identity!
No. I was just on the wrong tab.
Or that, you know,
That happens all the time.
also evil.
It is the incredible demon. Wrong tab.
Yeah, in the demonic language, it's pronounced, "Did you try to turn it off and back on?"
Well, I got a 21.
How did it go?
No, I think you actually rolled a 13.
So the question is there anything a 21 can tell me? Oh, thank you.
A 13 can tell you.
Yeah, sorry. Good
No.
point.
It's a crit on the back end, but it's on the back end.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so fine. I know even less.
It,
A crit on the back end?
Yeah.
indeed.
It doesn't matter because all
had.
I'm going to do is wait for this thing to break out of its cage and try and kill it anyway.
That makes sense. You're sizing it up. The cloven hooves, the summoning circle, especially the fact that it's bound in a summoning circle rather than, say, tied into a pact of some sort, makes you fairly confident that it is a demon, which is different from a devil. The big distinction being that devils abide by contracts as little as they can, right? As slimy as they possibly can. They'll weasel you to death with the fine print, but they will abide by the contract. Demons basically need to be bound and forced to do what you tell them. You basically overpower them with magic and make them do things for you, and then they hate you for doing it.
So maybe I could free it.
Wait, what?
That doesn't usually work out well.
What?
Just
Are they actually killable?
You know, like you free the genie, and then the genie is happy to be free and leave you alone.
They're
What books
abjurable.
have you been reading? Look,
This-
that was the Disney genie.
this
You
doesn't.
appreciate that Snow is from like a nomadic tribe, right?
Yeah, no, right there with you. Snow, just throwing it out there. This doesn't seem like one of those genies. Your insight, right? You're getting a different vibe, not so
Yeah.
much blue floating Robin Williams. Rack, I think it's your turn. Your mind's a
Alright.
blank slate, and that, in its own, is unsettling in its own special way. The
Yes.
stone starts talking again.
What does it say?
I was sent upon a task. 2 names and then my sender. His name stuck in my throat. Alas, I've swallowed that pretender.
No, you can't be. You can't be here. You're bound.
I am bound for now. Come out of the shadows. I think I know your voice.
Rex skids to a halt inside the room
Ooh.
and goes paler than normal and screams, Horace, aid me! Our ancient enemy is here.
Lenora yells, wait, what? Both of those sound like terrible ideas.
And then Rack will...
Who do you call on for aid?
Horace,
Spelling?
Hares, the same person that Lenora
Yeah.
was afraid of?
Haures. I just spell it a little pronounce it a little different.
Well, it would make sense if he worships chaos and she worships order that they would like.
Yeah, and he is going to attempt, God forbid, a hellish rebuke.
But at this point, aren't you going to hit the cage rather than the thing inside?
I don't
can't do
know.
it.
It's an
You can't do
excellent
it.
question. Maybe I should roll Arcana to find out first.
You can't do a hellish rebuke unless you get hit, right?
Oh, that's true. Unless he's
Oh.
got a special thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
hellish rebuke's a reaction.
Don't worry, I have other things to use. But first I should find out what the odds are of hitting through the shell instead of hitting the shell.
Did I just fall out of bed? Maybe you should go check. Yeah. Okay. You believe that you've probably got a clean shot at him. There's plenty of holes in the purple fabric that's binding him, and more by the moment.
Fantastic.
Jesus,
In that
careful.
case, what haven't I done lately? Sorry. I'm pretty sure that I have not done this.
Catches hideous laughter.
He needs to make a DC 12 wisdom save.
Hey, it's the laughing sickness again. Oh.
Wow. He is prone and incapacitated and unable to stand for the duration of my spell.
But
That's
his
good.
laughter is frightening enough that we're not sure if this is a good thing or not.
What did you do, Ray?
No, that's what did you do, Rack?
Sorry.
I loved it. I thought the timing was awesome.
Yeah.
It's laughing.
Happened.
It's scaring our children.
Probably honey, it's going to give me nightmares too.
Clearly, your children
What did I miss?
Pros.
Rack cast Tasha's hideous laughter on it.
See, that just doesn't sound... Okay.
It's a really good spell. He's incapacitated.
You remember, Eddie? We laughed just like this.
Rack focuses all his remaining
I'm gonna
energy.
go right out on the Judge Bloom stuff.
Rack focuses all his remaining energy on. Well, actually, he's going to move to here first, so that he's in the front line against this demon. I mean, as close to the barrier as he can get without touching it, and mutter under his breath constantly. You keep hearing the word Harris.
All right. It is the creature's turn. He's incapacitated. At the end of each of its turns, it can make another save, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Shoot-de-doop-de-doo.
Well, I didn't need that visual image. Thanks.
Okay. It stops laughing, sort of dusts itself off. You see it down on its knees, looking sort of, down on the ground, crouched down inside of its pen. Its head is sort of at mouth level with you, Rock, and it's watching you mutter the words, and its smile is growing. But that's the end of its turn because it was incapacitated for this turn. Mildred, it's your turn.
JR, can you move the the dead elf's guy's token? Because that's where I want to stand.
Sure.
Thank you. As soon as I manage to actually successfully navigate. Come on, I just had this token selected. I can't.
You want me to move you there?
Well, I would like to eventually move my own token again. This is ridiculous. Select, move the thing, and that other thing. Yes, please move my token again. Gosh, darn it!
There you go. Now you're privy to the same sight as the rest of them, which is Rack standing next to a rapidly failing arcane barrier and a big winged thing with cloven hoofs kneeling in front of him, sort of laughing. He sort of looks past Rack and squints at you for a second.
Uh-huh.
Like he's sizing you up.
Yeah, I'm trying to size him up too. Let's see. So Rack seems fairly alarmed. Trying to figure out the right thing to do here. Let me ask you a question. I'm still holding the box in my hands. Is it reacting as I walk closer to him?
He's looking at you and at the box. And he's also sort of trying to suss out. He's looking at you with a little bit of curiosity. His eyes are sort of darting back and forth between you and Rack at this point. You have his attention.
Okay. Mildred is gonna turn to Snow, and Mildred is gonna say, so here's what I'm thinking. We need to know what he is about, but he also seems to be pretty scary, and he just mind controlled a rock and made it talk. So I'm gonna try and detect his thoughts, but if he possesses me and makes me crazy, I'm tasking you to subdue me. And if it's really me, the safe word is, and she's gonna whisper really softly, flugelhorn.
I'm sorry, what?
Flugelhorn.
Okay.
And
now,
Mildred is
just to be clear.
Yeah.
If he possesses you and won't leave,
then smite her utterly.
Then I'm dead. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I am my thoughts. If he controls my
She's
thoughts,
been
he
trying to
controls
text
me.
thoughts.
All right, let's hit it.
I thought she
That smite her utterly was in character.
Yeah. But Mildred is, as usual, Mildred is supremely confident that this is like totally going to work, or if it doesn't work, we can totally figure out something that's going to work, probably. Anyway, so she does the thing where she puts the penny in her mouth and she does some mumbo jumbo and she casts detect thoughts. And in just a second, as soon as I find the button I need, there it is.
Okay.
Boy, this would have been a heck of a moment for the dark powers to kick in.
Wow, yeah. You sure you can't crit fail on a 2?
It's a 20 that makes it happen, I think.
No, I think it is a critical fail.
Oh, is it a 1 that makes it happen?
Yeah.
Fair
Come on.
enough. So it's got to roll a wisdom
In theory,
save.
we're not supposed to want it to happen, although really I know we all want it to happen.
Right.
But anyway, so I can hear his surface thoughts, and I don't think he even gets a save against me reading his surface thoughts, although I plan to probe.
Right. So
I know what he was thinking.
So the surface thoughts are the very surface most thoughts are that you have something that is his. You are holding something that he thought, not only did he think belonged to him, but he thought he already had it, and he doesn't. And now he sees that it's in your head.
In my head?
He sees that what he thought he had is in your head.
Oh, that sounds bad for me.
His eyes go up from Rack and focus on you for a second.
I'm sorry, I just read Cole's comment in the chat. Yes, his eyes focus on me.
So that's the surface thoughts. I've made the wisdom save on the assumption you wanted to probe deeper.
I do want to probe deeper. However, he has just lost his wisdom save.
He has. Now, as you're probing deeper into his thoughts, he's starting to wrap his head around what your name is. And you see his lips sort of mumbling, Mama, Milla, Millala. And you can see sort of your name written down in a bunch of different languages sort of scrolling through his mind as he tries to like plumb the depths of it and focus on exactly how to invoke your name. He's also looking at Rack, and every time his eyes shift back to Rack to make sure Rack's not going to jump him, you get a flash of this weird, chaotic hellfire sort of nightmare vision as he sort of sees Rack and then looks sort of through Rack into like a rabbit hole. It almost looks like so Mildred's never seen anything green screened. But if Rack were sort of green screened out of the scene and you were looking through Rack into like a Hieronymus Bosch painting,
oh God,
fully animated, full color, like drawn by The Simpsons.
Wow.
Right, that's sort of where we're at.
Okay, we're gonna put a pin in asking, Rack, dude, what the hell? Until later. Let's see. Mildred is gonna call out to the demon and say, well, now that's rude. You seem to want to be introduced, and yet you haven't given any of us your name. Who are you? What does he think in response to that?
The thing that sort of echoes through when you say, what is your name? All you get is an image of a mouth with thousands of teeth devouring the word name. As sort of in your head, you see sort of the word bubble leave your mouth. What is your name? and his word bubble sort of turns into a giant mouth and bites off the word name off of your question.
I see. Okay. Let's see. And who bound you, Name Eater?
That question has no answer anymore. He snorts and laughs.
Oh, we killed that dude.
Okay, has no answer. Mildred would like to. Does Mildred have any actions left? Is that no? I probably don't. I can't make a roll for anything, can I? I moved and I cast a spell.
Yeah.
And I was thinking I wanted to roll Insight or Arcana.
Sure. You can try to suss stuff out or make conclusions.
Okay, let me see here. Rolling
Can Cole
things.
see this guy, or is he too far back in the tunnel?
Yeah, Cole, you're getting a glimpse of him over Mildred's shoulder.
I don't want to.
Well, none of us want to. She's gonna roll Arcana, and hopefully that thing will work, to try and see if she recognizes the spell being used to bind him, and can tell, like, what the status is as far as when it's gonna fail and if it can be repaired.
It looks like a summoning spell.
Summoning spell.
Yeah, it's a summoning and binding.
Okay.
Pretty routine stuff for trying to call an evil power to account. The one thing you're getting, the runes are, where the spell has any flexibility, the runes are carved in Elvish, and do you speak Elvish?
I do.
The cadence of the Elvish from the, you can only see sort of the front half of the circle.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as invocations or inscriptions go, the cadence of the Elvish is very didactic or academic in tone.
It's not street Elvish.
No, this is not. I'm trying
Is
to
this
draw a
somebody
distinction.
copied it out of a book, Elvish?
Yeah, gonna say influenced by academic research rather than, say, individual dark pacts or powers.
The Elvish version of Latin.
Hey, I can't remember if we answered this. What language is the book in the box that I'm carrying written in?
It is in Elvish.
Okay. Now I probably am out of actions.
You are.
Okay, that is the end of my turn. Although I am going to concentrate on the Detect Thoughts spell.
Okay, so that spell will be sustained.
Yeah, as long as I don't cast anything else. Let's see. It looks like it lasts for, I think it's a minute. It's a minute.
Cool. So it should last the rest of tonight's combat anyway.
Hopefully.
Okay. The skeleton whose turn it is staggers over the corpse of his comrade and realizes that he must attack the bear before he can get on with the matter of trying to slaughter poor Nas. And so he's going to take a swing at a bear, even though he's a skeleton who ought to know better. He does get an 18 versus AC.
That's gotta hit.
Okay. But you're a bear.
Yeah.
So there's that. Take 5 piercing and insult his heritage.
Okay.
Oh, happy St. David's Day, Brian.
Oh, thank you. I do not have a leak in my cap, but I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you.
Say what now?
Jochen Voor.
Yeah, it's St. David's Day. It's the day we celebrate Welsh people.
Oh,
Patron saint of Wales. I wish I could speak Whale.
Why?
Did you see my post yesterday about Welsh as a sexuality?
Easy.
What?
I'll try and track it down for you.
Nobody who watched Torchwood is surprised.
Nobody. Nobody whatsoever. Is this a condition where you get turned on by extra Ys?
And W's,
And
if you're
Ws?
into that. Caradwin, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm sure I'm gonna take hits from people, but I'm gonna move there.
Okay. This guy, I'll take a swing. Miss horribly. And that guy's already dead.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, the ones with the red dot and skull and crossbones are dead. I didn't want to rule them out because there was a necromancer on the battlefield.
Fair enough. Can I take a swing at the other guy then before I?
Absolutely.
Like, can I split my move?
Yes, that's perfectly permissible in 5e.
Okay.
You can roll it. You can roll it from here.
That's the bite, and that's the claw.
Oh,
Probably not.
rotten luck.
Well, the whole point of this was to get between Nas and them, so I'm good.
Yeah. Fair play. All right. Cole, it's your turn. Rack has decided to approach the demon. Mildred is apparently trying to reason with it telepathically. And Snow is sort of uncharacteristically standing in the middle of a sprint towards it.
Yes. Accurate.
What are you doing, Cole?
I'm gonna make, I guess, a history check
Sure.
to see what I was told to do. Either what I learned to do in case of demons.
Good.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
All right.
Cole, when you encounter a demon, ideally what you want to do is position your war mages in the back with the appropriate summoning and binding spells, and then bring at least 2 platoons of infantry in a pincer formation. Generally, you want to use sacrificial infantry for this step. And then, as soon as possible, discern what the demon's unique domain or power is that people summon or bind it for. And whatever you do, don't give him any of that. So, for example, if you meet a demon of steel, you might retreat the infantry at that point.
Got it.
And then you have your war mages conduct a normal 3 or 6 person binding, with the 7th person, usually having to bleed quite a lot before the binding can be effective, and then you lock them down.
And in the cases where, say, your war mage is out of commission or your infantry is depleted, or both?
That's not usually referred to as a tactically viable situation. There aren't a lot of reports from not a lot of after action reports from people who've been in those situations to review.
Okay. Got it.
The record is curiously sparse on that account.
Because they need someone to have survived to write a record of that account.
Ah, Mildred's getting it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Cole's going to say, Cole's going to reach up and grab Snow's shoulder
Okay.
and say, "Fall back. There's nothing that we can do."
Snow has already gathered this.
And then let's see, I've gone 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
Cole, when you put your hand on Snow's shoulder and sort of meet its eyes, it looks at you for a second, and its eyes sort of widen for a moment, and then sort of narrow to slits, and it watches you into the distance. Mildred, you're still connected to its thoughts, yeah?
I am.
When it sees Cole, you get the impression of a dragon breathing fire at a pond full of ice water and sort of pacing around the outside of the pond trying to boil off the ice water ineffectively. And then its eyes narrow into slits.
Huh.
Interesting visual.
I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a brief impression of hunger or emptiness, and then Cole sort of shoulders past you, and the vision's disrupted for a second. Lenora, it's to you. Cole runs past you in the hallway. Cole, any words of wisdom for Lenora?
Demon, fall back.
To which Lenora responds, "Shit!" and runs forward. Okay, I'm going to take my move, which I can't see all the squares anymore since Cole moved, but I believe it puts me into the square right where he was, right behind Mildred.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you can see into the opening of the chamber too. You see Rack on his knees, Rack standing in front of the barrier with his hand near it. Snow standing there, sort of glancing into her blind spot to see where Cole went.
Yes.
And Mildred holding on to the box that has the book in it, and staring at the demon in the rapidly collapsing arcane barrier.
Right.
He's about to get wild.
You can. And he can see you. And as soon as he lays eyes on you, his eyes just open wide up. Mildred, you catch another flash of that weird Boschian static, and get a vision of a tower and a sorcerer and something weird and hellish, and sort of this long pivoting flashback snapping into focus around Lenora's face, and then you hear the word Brightbane sort of echo through your ears, and the rock starts to talk again.
Who are you guys?
I think that I have now surveyed the trap Haurace has set for me. Fiery forget-me-not and nameless blade and horned pillar of prophecy. But by what power do you swear? By what sacrifice? What penance done? Haurace has made an error there, a wolf trap made from venison.
Nas asks Erwin, did you hear something?
I caught venison. That was it.
Solid.
He's a bear. It's like, ooh, venison?
Her ears perked up.
Threaten all you like. You'll find no prey here that I will let you have.
Right. So Lenora's going to take the opportunity while she's standing right behind Mildred to cast protection against good and evil on her.
You can choose, that spell lets you select a type.
Okay.
Evil. Pick evil.
Important safety tip. Thanks,
Target-
Egon.
That was
I'm
fantastic.
just saying they could have worded that better.
Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures. Aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
There you go.
It's an and.
There you go.
Right? So that's all of them,
Mhm.
right? The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. Target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Hey, that's smart.
Okay?
So that's on Mildred.
So that's on Mildred, right?
Yeah.
It's possible that I should have stepped past Mildred first and then used my bonus action to do that.
Well,
could-
you can split your
If
move.
you
in
use
this
your
version.
bonus
Do
action,
things.
you cast it as a bonus action, then you still have a move. You still have an action that you can move with. Is that spell a bonus action?
No. It's a regular action.
Okay, because a bonus action
I'm
is like
sorry.
a minor.
I meant like a. Does 5e not have such a thing as like
There's no action points.
there's no action points?
No.
Okay.
There's what?
Unless you're a fighter.
I didn't understand what you said.
I didn't either.
Unless you're a fighter.
Oh, unless you're a fighter. Yeah, fighters have a pool of extra resources. And when you get to... Well, you'll get extra attacks at 5th level, but that's different.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've now done my move and my action, so all I have left is bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I recognize this thing?
No. You've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Nope. Oh. You've never seen it, but you've seen a painting of it.
Grr.
Myrrh.
When you broke into the apartment in Bearston with the magic mirror
Wow.
and went through the mirror
My brain hurts.
into the realm
Where
Where
there was
Daria
Terran
had-
the Stoat.
where Daria had trapped all of those people.
Uh-huh. Where Bree's hair changed?
That was one of the places, yeah. One
He
of many.
works for Terran the Stoat.
No,
Kill.
that's different mirror. Different mirror.
Okay.
This is the mirror that you all went through,
Right.
and
Okay.
the shadows of the people.
Yes.
Yes,
Like the third time we killed Terran the Stone.
yes, on the walls of that chamber. This is one of the creatures that had a painting on the walls in that chamber.
Was it labeled?
No,
Could I roll anything? Can I roll things?
Roll
am
things.
Am I out of?
roll a thing. I'm imploring you to roll a thing.
Okay. Oh wait, that was Mildred. I just clicked on. Sorry, Mildred.
Don't roll Mildred. She's
Luckily,
crunchy.
Mildred is concentrating on her spell and totally doesn't notice.
She's crunchy and tasty with ketchup.
But she's protected. I just protected her.
That's true.
You protected her from evil. You're good.
Evil and good. It's an and, not an or.
See, you could roll acrobatics. No, don't roll acrobatics.
Religion?
Sure.
History? I mean,
religion.
yeah. I did the thing, I swear.
Yeah.
Oh, hey!
This is a demon, like many of the other demons painted inside that mirror. He's probably associated with the same kind of Vecnaic magic that Daria is so fond of using to clean up her tracks.
Son of a Mother Hubbard.
That probably accounts for why you can't remember the name of that guy whose ashes you're standing on.
Right.
Oh.
What was his name?
Ashley.
Ooh. Okay. So Lenora's gonna start to pray under her breath.
Good plan.
No, nobody ever does anything over their breath.
Nas, it's your turn.
I'm pretty sure Rack does almost everything over his breath.
Back to the bear and skeleton crime fighting duo. Time to get the wah pedal.
Nas has a sudden realization that she wants to change her name to Stun.
To stun?
This
Bear
duo
Stun?
can be called Bear Stun. But as she realizes that there'd be no way to properly file the paperwork at her home jurisdiction to do a name change, she instead does a firebolt at the remaining skeleton.
Awesome. Always a good backup plan.
23 versus AC is almost insurably a hit, and that's 6 damage.
Indeed. Another 6 damage on the pile. Blammo.
And that's all I've got. Oh, you know what? I actually take that back. I'm going to keep catching up now.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's, I don't know whose cloud of daggers that was, but I think you can go around it.
It was mine, and I'm not concentrating on it, so it's gone.
Right. Cool. Okay. There's no cloud of daggers there. You can go around it. Is that your whole move, or do you want me to put you in the tunnel?
That is my whole move.
Okay. Snow, it's your turn. There's a demon. Cole seems scared of it. Rack seems pretty intent on it. Lenora is actually praying.
And its shell is cracked, right?
Yeah, it's coming down. You see it starting to the bits of it that were sort of hovering in the air like clouds are sort of solidifying and falling to the ground like pieces of glass. Wow. 25 versus AC.
Holy.
Wow.
I hope that hits.
No, unholy.
Your sword
Repustles.
Your sword cleaves through the remainder of the boundary and shatters it, and your blade bites into its side.
It's coming down anyway, Mildred.
We could have fixed it. I have a freaking Necronomicon.
The blade bites into its side, and you see inky black blood gush all over your sword. It looks at you and says, "What part of the trap are you supposed to be? The bait?"
The best part.
The bait. The bait is the best part of the trap. That's why the trap works. What are you doing?
Got anything else for him, Snow?
No, that's it for now.
History will long forget you. Rack, it's your turn.
History will forget none but you, demon. You'll not have them. I'm the only prize you'll take today, foul one, and my name is forever my lord's. May it undo you as you undo me. Rack seizes Caligari in both of his hands, swings it back over his head, and lets loose with his best blow.
Do it up.
Oh dear.
He reaches out his clawed hand and grabs a hold of the tip of the giant maul that your hellish patron has consecrated. And when he catches it in his hand, you see a sort of weird flickering white light go up his arm and down the shaft.
Huh.
For a moment,
like that once.
For a moment, you can see Haurace's face in all of its horrifying glory in your mind, and you're struck with a feeling sort of like accelerated amnesia. Do you intend to move this turn?
No, I intend to hold him here.
What's going on in the demon's mind when this
And
happens?
I intend
Or
to
the
help.
fiend's mind?
When he catches the tip of the maul, what's going through his mind is that he wants to send a tendril of energy down the haft into Rack and channel a waterfall, a pure gout of erasure right into him. But when he touches the metal of the maul, the thought changes for a second, and both Rack and the demon are sort of green screened for a second in that weird rewinding, fast-forwarding, brain-scratching way.
Wiki wiki.
It's his turn. He grabs a hold of the maul, and Mildred, you've got a front row seat for this, as he does in fact try to push the tendril of energy down the haft of it. Rack, he is going to he's going to give it the old college try. Would you like to make a saving throw?
Rack will buckle down and push all of his energy into the maul.
Mildred, though, is going to at least try. She's going to say, Rack, let go.
No, he'll have none of you.
So no saving throw.
No, I'm just going to push back.
Awesome. The demon grabs a hold of the end of the maul, fires a white-hot jet of magic down the haft of it. It gets down into Rack. You see Rack light up like a bonfire, like a magnesium flare. And as soon as that happens, the white energy shoots back up the demon's arm, and it flashes white too. You hear the noise of its laughter cut off suddenly. Jenny, you've got an image of it trying to devour something. And as it opens its mouth wide, you see the mouth sort of invert and wrap back around its own image of itself. There's a loud clap of thunder.
Mildred, does that thing where, she hears a noise and then after a minute realizes it's her own screaming. This is horrifying.
The demon and Rack are gone.
What?
They disappear.
Oh no. Snow looks around, completely confused, sword out, terrified.
So is this that thing that we were doing where David was going to be gone for a little while and this was going to be his sort of hiatus?
I'm not in the show at the moment.
Who's missing?
Nobody?
No, is Mildred still mind connected to anybody?
No. There's no one here.
Did it end like they left, or did it end like the mind?
Like
was
who
no longer?
left?
Cole's pretty much got it.
What's that?
Cole's pretty much on board.
Like who left?
Like who
Jenny?
left?
It's always just been the six of us.
Mildred is like, she spits the penny into her hand and said, but somebody was here, because why?
Yeah, the guy that's all ashes on the floor.
Why don't I remember that?
Remember
You
what?
do. Mildred,
Yeah,
you do.
I remember it.
You remember Rack. You remember Ephraim Dogwood. You remember the Eater of Names.
So Mildred is like trying to explain this to everybody. It says, "Look, look, there was a penny. It was in my mouth. This is the proof that she's got that something was happening."
What do I remember?
You chased a necromancer here. There was a lot of flashing and banging. Some people cast some spells. The 6 of you guys look to have survived pretty intact.
There
What
were
does Snow
7 of us,
remember?
though.
Snow, looks like you're at the. Looks like you came past the necromancer to.
Because her sword is drawn and it's covered in black blood.
Yeah, it is. It's covered
She's
in
gonna
black
know
goo.
she was in a fight.
Yeah, no, definitely. Your sword's covered in black goo. That must be from that that guy you were fighting, whatever his name was.
Or all that undead stuff. Undead stuff is totally made out of black goo.
Totally.
This is fresh. This is still warm.
Mildred wants to inspect the circle too.
Lenora's going to follow her because she can tell that she has protection against good and evil cast on her.
Wait, are we still in combat?
No. Yeah, some of you are. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Caradwin, you're still in combat with a skeleton. Caradwin, there's a horrible nightmare happening in another chamber, but right now it's you and the skeleton. Mono Oso.
All right, I'm gonna split my move and take a swing.
Cool.
All right.
That seems weird. Didn't it have a turn?
What is that sound?
Oh, sorry. I'm scratching something. I thought I was on mute.
Okay, that's fine. It just,
I'm scratching the silvery patch off a pair of Amazon gift cards I got at work from a
Nice.
client for being awesome.
Hey, nice.
Did the skeleton not move up during its last turn? I think you just skipped the skeleton's last turn.
Oh, geez, you're right. You're right. I fast forwarded to the bear. The skeleton.
Thanks, Noah.
It's okay. You guys both crit. The skeleton crits first for 8, and then you crit the skeleton and kill it.
Okay.
Which is, very poetic and heroic, like the Scalds would sing.
had me any.
Had you any Scalds, indeed. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna start limping back towards the others. So I moved up to.
Cole, your turn is actually right after the bear. You find yourself running down the tunnel and you can't remember why.
At least 2 have been back here forever.
That's true. It's always good to help out your friends.
Tell them to catch back up.
Okay. We are definitely out of combat order. If you guys want to regroup either in the big room or back in the hallways, I can move all your tokens together.
Yeah, Cole will just move back and tell see if the other 2 need any help, and then head back up.
Mildred still wanted to inspect what's left of this circle.
Mildred, the engravings burned out in a couple of places. The form of the summoning is correct, but a couple of the key nouns are missing.
Are missing like they're burned out, or missing like they were done incorrectly?
Missing like they were never there.
Or are they where names would go?
Yeah.
So I think that's then Mildred is like, well, that's obviously intentional. This is how you call something with no name. She looks at this box that has this book in it.
Yeah.
We had the box open, right? That's how we know it's a book in there, right?
Yeah.
She wants to look and see if she can find this spell in the book.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Lenora is sort of following her around as she inspects the circle, going, Mildred, Mildred, why did I, what?
Mildred is explaining in rapid fire babble everything that she can remember that everybody else can. And there was this guy and he was purple and he was wearing this necklace and then he like exploded and then oh my god there was like this horrible like purple demon. It was like scratching on the thing and Snow like hit it and then Rack was gonna hit it with his maul because Rack was a person and he exists and you know we were around and we were traveling with him and we had a big fight with him because he wanted to kill our captives and then we came and we did the tomb and he was here and he was real and why don't you remember him?
Oh my god, how much coffee did she have?
Milk.
So much. 5! So many!
Mildred.
Oh my god, I was telling Ben that story today.
Mildred, when you open the book, a little bit of sulfur-scented smoke comes out, and the cover where it says Necronomicon of Ephraim Dogwood, the name sort of flashes briefly and singes on the leather, but then cools down immediately again. The name is actually intact on the cover of the book here.
So the name's intact.
Yeah, guys, Mildred has discovered a book with the name of some sort of sorcerer or necromancer written on it.
Has she?
Yeah, this is a book that appears to be written by someone who is named Ephraim Dogwood. It says it's a Necronomicon.
Well, that's interesting. Seems like it might be a useful sort of thing.
Should I move Nas and Carradwin back into the main chamber?
Yeah, go ahead. I do at some point want to check out this sort of finger room, the offshoots of the hallway.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Mildred, you flip through the book pretty quickly.
Uh-huh.
And there you go. You flip through it and quickly, because you are quite an adept speed reader, come to the conclusion that it's a research journal of sorts. The subject matter ranges all across the dark arts. The tone is technical and academic in nature. The journal entries are all dated with years that are between 115 and 125 years in the past. The text includes several invocations for currying favor with Orcus, the demon king of the undead, as well as approximate scores, sort of ranking how well one can curry favor based on each of these invocations.
Orcus, the dude we killed.
No.
No.
That was his son.
Orcus, the Demon King, is
Different from Grumsh.
Right.
the
I'm there
god.
now.
Yeah.
I'm there now.
There are several other demon summoning and demon binding rituals, all cross-tabbed and indexed. Extensive research notes on Grumsh's children, including Shargaeus and Bonktru. Detailed spells for trying to locate them and ask them to conjure or summon military power to aid you. There's spells for necromancy. Most of them are rated poor or unpredictable results. You do find among the ones rated reliable, Ephraim's tailored and personalized versions of spells that I will get you the names of later on, Mildred.
Okay.
You can decide if that's if you want to study those and swap those in as spells later on.
Oh, okay.
He's there's a piece of paper bookmarking a page with a summoning ritual.
Mm-hmm.
That says a ritual for summoning the Eater of Names. And in it, the piece of parchment bookmarking it has just a little note jotted down. Brogar's Barrow, some road directions on how to get there, and then sort of circled. It looks like someone had at one point written 2 names on the paper, which have now been burned off the page.
Do Naz and I remember Rack?
No. Rack who?
Okay.
Do we all remember Ephraim?
Well, Ephraim's the guy who wrote the book.
Right.
You can't recall having ever met him.
Right.
We did meet him. We fought him. Cole defeated him by telling him his name was Ephraim.
Defeated who?
Was that one of the skeletons?
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Do you need to?
That line always cracks me up.
Because it's applicable in so many situations.
I say it all the time.
Encapsulates the emotion. Mildred is getting kind of more and more upset as like everybody everyone has forgotten this except her, and she's really bothered by it. She's like, Cole, it's that guy. We were fighting him and he was wearing a big medallion and you said his name and then he like went poof and it like blew up, and I mean I know that you know his name because that's how you defeated him, was you said his name. I mean, this is pretty obvious. Why would we be in here if we hadn't fought a guy? What would this circle be on the floor for if there wasn't a thing in it?
This place has been here for a while? I don't know.
But, okay.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to start checking the walls to see if there's any other way out of this room. Just to avoid this conversation.
Okay. Cole, you focus your attention on the stonework. Go ahead and make investigation rolls.
JR, did you say there's a pile of ash left in the last positions occupied by Rack and the Name Eater?
No, there's nothing there. The ash is only there where Ephraim was. Cole, you don't find anything on the west wall.
Okay. Try the next wall.
You find a loose stone wall here. Let me see if I can open it for you. Oh, damn.
So that would be a no.
Well, I can't open it, but I can show you where it is. On the north wall, Cole finds the other side of that secret door that you guys were looking for earlier.
Well, crap on toast.
Is that a good thing?
The mechanisms have definitely had something poured into them and wedged shut, but it looks like someone did the side you guys were on earlier first, and then sort of just wedged like a stick or a butt end of a torch or something in this end. If you wanted to, it would be pretty simple to pull the stuff out, and since the door is meant to open the other direction, you could brute force it from this side.
Okay. I'll start working on that.
Okay. Cole, you managed to...
Mildred is also pulling out a pencil and a piece of paper and frantically trying to write down, like, you know, the highlights of what she remembers, just in case whatever is affecting everybody else gets to her.
Oh. The brief history of Rack?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You have a stellar memory, and you're pretty good at writing things down.
Yeah. And she's scribbling away. Sorry, guys, I'm not helping with this.
Man, I would put that in the box if I were you.
Well, I think she's actually using the piece of paper that was tucked into the book.
Meanwhile, Lenora is still trying to get her attention to ask her when and why she cast protection against good and evil on her.
Because I did detect thoughts on the name eater, and he was about to figure out my name, and then you cast protection from evil on me. That's why you cast it. Because we were all there, and I don't know why none of you remember. Do you want me to inspect you to see if there's like a lingering spell on you that maybe I could remove that's blocking your memory?
Sure.
Can Mildred do that?
You absolutely can. I think if someone were to voluntarily fail their saves, you could use detect thoughts and do a deep dive.
I do not know if I can cast detect thoughts again.
Oh,
I have a question.
sure, Nas.
Mildred is holding the Necronomicon, right?
Right.
Does it look like it's been opened?
At Comcast, we're working hard to improve our customer service.
What?
Just flip through it.
We
Yeah.
open it and an ad starts to play.
Guys.
Yeah. Yeah, she has opened the box. She's actually flipped through it to read it a little bit.
It's a research journal.
Yeah, it was a research journal.
I'm gonna try and signal to Lenora and or whisper that maybe Mildred's being possessed by the book, and I'm kind of afraid.
Except that I know that I cast protection against good and evil, which protects her against possession.
Specifically protected against possession.
Yeah.
Lenora is certain that that Mildred is in her right mind and protected from all evil.
I wasn't here for that, so that's
true.
that's why Nas is
I got it.
doubling down on the concern.
There you go.
So,
It is
to answer
concerning.
the mechanical question, I do have one more second level spell slot. I can cast detect thoughts one more time.
Who would you cast it on?
Let's see. The ones who were actually in the room when everything went down were Lenora and Snow, right? And
Yeah.
obviously Rack.
And yeah,
Let's see. I'm gonna cast it on Lenora because I kind of feel like it would be she being the one who is completely certain that I can't be possessed would be probably the best option for someone to kind of have on my side. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna, if she allows me to, I'm gonna probe through her thoughts while talking about what just happened, trying to figure out where the hole is and why it's there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm.
And
Yeah,
she
open
explains to Lenora before she does this, she's all like, so I can look at your thoughts, but I can't change anything, I can't make you do anything, I can't, like, affect them.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm an open book. I mean, it's kind of one of those tearjerker books, but sure.
Okay. So Mildred goes digging.
okay. Lenora, are you going to voluntarily fail your save?
Voluntarily.
Outstanding. That makes life easier. Jenny, cast the spell so we can see if something catastrophic happens.
I'm gonna sort of apologize in advance.
This is like the 4th season of a CW show.
Yeah, it's season 6 of Buffy in here.
Go for it, Jenny.
Yeah, hang on, I'm having token selection issues again. Like,
Okay.
seriously, I keep testing it when it is not my turn, and it works just fine.
That's hilarious.
She keeps trying to turn it off and turn it back on again.
Yeah.
Now I've managed to, like, move myself off of the map. Hang on a second.
No, you're still here.
This is such a pain in the butt.
I'm
No,
trying.
I meant I moved my view off of the map.
Oh, geez.
All right, I've successfully selected my token for the first time tonight. Here we go. Detect thoughts. I rolled a 6.
Nothing happens. Okay. You root through Lenora's mind. She's got clear memories of interviewing everybody in the party, putting together the mission, making all the plans. And then as you sort of flip back and forth through her memories, every once in a while you'll bump into something like, Lenora interviewed 6 people and then made reservations for 7 people to get on the ship. And then all 6 people got off of the ship. The 6 of you guys fought those twins who were throwing axes on the pirate ship. And then you all went back to your bunks. There was one room that had 4 people and one room that had 3 people sleeping in it. And then 6 of you got off at Ravensport. Yeah, you just keep running into like little glitched bits here. And then every once in a while, when you come to a memory where you distinctly remember all 7 of you being in the room, you sort of turn Lenora's point of view until you're looking at where Rack is sitting. And the chair or the bench or the table is scorched in her memory, as though weathered away by acid and fire and lightning and all the rest. Like you guys are all sitting in a perfectly functional tavern, and there's an empty chair sitting there in the center of the room that's completely scorched to the point where if you like even poked it, the ashes would fall apart.
Mildred would like to do a Arcana roll to see if she can figure out what happened to Rack and the thing. Like, did it eat him? Did he save us? Are they both dead? What happened?
You're rooting around in Lenora's head when you start trying to piece this together.
Mm-hmm.
Which
this is not a spell. This is a roll.
I know, but you've got access to everything she knows about Hares, which is the name that Rack was saying and muttering and threatening the demon with, and it's the name that the demon said back to you guys when he said, "I think I see the trap that Hares has laid for me."
Yeah.
He seemed to think that you guys were here for him. He tried to piece it together, and then Rack said, "You won't have any of them. You'll only have me, and my master will be your ruination," or something to that effect. And Hares, the dreaming duke, the saint of chaos, who objects to emptiness and would prefer entropy, apparently did Rack one last solid for his great faith in the power of entropy, and made Rack into a perfectly Rack-shaped demon trap. You'll not have them yet. I'm the only prize you take today, foul one. My name is forever my lord's. May it undo you as you undo me.
Okay.
It looks like the Eater of Names bit off more than he could chew.
Tried to get Rack, but Rack paired his name with Horace's.
Tried to eat the name of the Dreaming Duke and Saint of Chaos.
Right.
That's not a name that goes down in one bite.
No, you need a little probiotic chaser on that one.
You come at the king.
Yeah.
You best not miss. So,
Okay.
I think it's pretty clear, Mildred, that today did not go well for Rack or the Eater of Names.
Well,
As for the question of where they are or if they are, I think we'll have to solve that some other evening.
okay.
Because it's 10 o'clock.
Does she convey this?
Well, that was going to be what I was gonna say. I was kind of like Mildred disengages, and she says, "Okay." So I think what happened is Rack allowed himself to be unmade in order to save us. And she explains what she thinks happens. And she says, "I know that you don't know this name and you can't remember having ever met Rack, but ask yourself this question: when we came here, how many berths did you book on the ship?"
Well, 7, obviously, because we
You
needed.
booked 7 berths because you can't remember the 7th person.
Mildred's right. You booked 7 berths on the ship.
Yeah, I totally remember doing that because I remember thinking that
Yeah, go ahead, name them off.
we needed Cole and Mildred and Caradwin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the bear?
That's Caradwin.
No, that's Caradwin. And me,
What about the elk?
Elk, and Snow, and Nas, and why would I have paid for an extra berth? Is one of us extra large? And they said that they would charge us for 2 for that person?
Was
That
Caradwin
is
there when we got on the ship?
So Lenora's gonna, Mildred is gonna say, "Listen, I'm not really sure how this magic works. It's way beyond my level. But I think that when your name is eaten by the Eater of Names, no one remembers you. So, I think I only remember it because I was basically mind melded with it when it tried to eat him. So."
Oh, that sounds like a terrible idea.
It was pretty freaking gruesome, and I am never going to describe it to anyone as long as I live. And if you hear me screaming at night, it's because I'm dreaming about it. But the important thing, I think, is there were 7 births. There were 7 people. So please, you can't actually remember him, but please believe me when I tell you that his name was Rack, and he died to save us.
Okay.
Are we sure?
I can't, you're right, I can't remember that name. Is there anything else you can give me that I might remember?
Mildred, when you were kicking around looking for a rock, you did find a small scorched piece of iron.
Mildred holds it out.
This is a small scorched piece of iron.
With an H on it.
An H. Does this trigger something for me?
Yeah, it's not like the letter H, it's the first letter of Horace.
So do I look at this and have like horrific flashbacks of my childhood, or
No, but it seems awfully interesting that someone, Mildred is claiming, a worshiper of Horace came in here and died to save you guys, and she reaches down and picks up a piece of blackened scorched iron with the first letter of Horace's name on it.
Yeah, and see, I already know way more than I want to about Horace.
Mm-hmm.
This is all making the kind of nonsense that isn't. This is
Not
This is
nonsense.
okay.
Well, it's 5 after 10. I'm going to cut off the broadcast. You guys can email amongst yourselves, chat amongst yourselves. Noah, if you got any questions writing up the minutes, send me a note. I'll make sure you've got as close to the canon truth as possible, since we're sort of playing fast and loose with the concept of truth here.
I think I got it.
Well, that isn't topical at all.
Easy.
Yeah.
Jenny, I'm sorry I had to gaslight your character.
Yeah.
I'll see you
No,
guys
actually,
all,
this was awesome.
and I'll see you guys all next